Welcome to MMO Grinder Sidequest, where I take a look at early open or closed betas, subscription trials, and simpler titles, giving you a quick first impression. Today I'll be looking at Awesomenauts, a 2D platformer MOBA brought to my repeated attention by the comments section after I took a look at Hyper Universe. Sure, this once again turned Sidequest into MOBA Quest, but Dead Market is dead after all, and I'll be moving away from it soon enough. While I can see where comparisons may lie, the feel of both games is vastly different, despite sharing a genre similarity. So let's take a look at the indie title and what's to the MOBA what Brawlhalla was to Smash Bros. Like the aforementioned Brawlhalla, the game goes with a flash animation style, but unlike Brawlhalla, every character doesn't share the same basic body type of large head-on spindly body, and the character aesthetic, while very sci-fi, is still vast, showing great care in each character's design, along with plenty of variety. Be an elderly rocket boot cowboy, a sword and board knight made from a massive gel, an octopus surfer girl, or a caterpillar mage, it's your call. Fitting in with the sci-fi elements is of course the sound work, with music following a very electronic and guitar nature, but going as far to give each individual character their own theme, and plenty of laser pew-pew to go around. What I find most amusing is the amount of voice acting, all done in a cartoony over-the-top style, think the attitude of Wildstar. It'll capture the Saturday morning cartoon feel, which is all pretty well done and amusing, well, depending on your cringe tolerance for dated memes. You might run off Scoop in his entirety and uninstall the game when he utters the phrase "Scoop de Whoop" during his victory screen. If you follow MOBAs to any extent, it's not hard to grasp the basics of Awesomenauts. 2 cores, few paths, turrets to guide small fodder enemy towards that need to be taken down, and clear a path to the enemy core to win. Quite a few things set this aside from the standard MOBA and even Hyper Universe. First off, it bears a lot more in common with an action platformer than other 2D MOBAs. You can shoot up or down, fire on previous levels, ambush from any angle, and move between floors with little effort. As such, the battles seem a bit more chaotic, and I'm not entirely a fan of how little the game does to discern between an enemy and allied player. Not even having the common staple of a colored life bar or frame or name, just the color of the enemy themselves, which is very easy to lose track of on smaller frame characters with more details. I've taken plenty of potshots at allies and ignored enemies because I had no idea what team they were on at a glance, and that's kind of annoying. Hopefully there'll be some kind of better option for that at some point. It's also very simple to use with a controller, which I would recommend, though the controls for mouse and keyboard are just as simplistic, using the left and right and middle mouse for attacks, while the standard WASD moves you around with the mouse cursor aiming when applicable. Both control schemes work fantastically for whatever you're comfortable with. As twitchy as the game forgoes the use of a mana system, relying only on cooldowns for your skills. Basic attacks can be spammed while holding down the attack button, but 2 others will have cooldowns of various lengths when used. Each skill from your basic attack to the cooldowns can be upgraded in various ways from the in-match shop, with the currency Solar that you'll earn from kills, basic generation through time, and picking up on the map. You're limited to 3 items per line, however. The game also uses a Team XP system, like in Heroes of the Storm, meaning that each kill earned for XP goes to the team pool and levels up everyone at once. But Solar is still important to spend and collect. Interestingly, you even get a slight bonus to Solar as you spawn and respawn, as you fall from a controllable drop pod and collect bonus Solar as you fall. Matches seem easy enough to get into. Queues don't exactly pop immediately, but they don't sit forever until you get matched up. But I am finding the people who play this game seem to really like to play it, and the PvP matches that I did play in ended up with a pretty intense steamrolling. At least people were quiet, and the game allows for quick commands that don't seem to be spammable, thank God. If you have any different experiences with this game, let us know. The game's cash shop is the fairly standard one for MOBAs. There's a starter pack that costs $8 and nets you a decent pack of characters, while the tooltips speak of a pack that grants you all current and future characters, but I didn't see any way to obtain that within the game or Steam. Otherwise, you can just use points that are surprisingly easy to obtain, to buy characters that you'd want for various prices, or just stick with a classic free-to-play rotation. Overall, I didn't quite get as grabbed by Awesomenauts as I did Hyper Universe initially, but the game felt overall less stressful to play for me. It was a lot easier to grasp, and I feel the game is a lot cleaner overall, with none of that weird loot box nonsense for skins and the like, and less of the mouthy try-hard MOBA player presence. I've only been playing for a few hours though, so I'm sure that's bound to change. This has been an MMO Grinder Sidequest, and it's time I logged out.